in our Bible, right? Our New Testament begins with 4 Gospels, 4 tellings of the story of the life of Jesus. And Acts is actually written by the same community that wrote the Gospel, Luke, but it's different in that it tells the story of the first church, right? And today at Pentecost, we celebrate the birth of our church. So the Pentecost story is a hard one to read, literally, to read it out loud. Did you get that? Did you understand why I didn't make a lecture, had to go through all of those names and everything? The names are jarring. It makes for a clattering, complicated sound to get through that part of this scripture. But I think that's a really neat part of this story. Listen to some of the names, if I can find them for you. You have the Medes, you have people from Phrygia, and the Cretans, and the Cappadocians, and the Parthians. I think it's neat to hear those sounds, and so it can really hit home. Even now, 2,000 years later, many cultures removed, the point is driven home that this story involves very different people from very different worlds. Think about it for a minute. Do you think people in Japan sit around the campfire singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie"? Probably not. So do you think the Cappadocians and the Parthians shared a worldview? I'm guessing they probably didn't. Do you think the Cretans and the Arabs had the same customs? No. Do you think the Medes and the Elamites sang the same songs around the campfire or ate the same kinds of things for dinner? No. We are talking about radically different people from radically different worlds. And when you think about it, it's likely that on most subjects, if you would sit down with these folks to have a conversation, on most things they would not even understand one another. And therein lies the beautiful miracle of Pentecost, that radically different people can come to understanding, that wall, that barrier that divides us all can break down, even if for just a moment, and radically different people can reach understanding. It's a story of timeless truth that still powerfully touches us today. I'm guessing from some of your Facebook posts that I read daily that you can empathize with this situation in your day-to-day life. How many of you out there in the real world, in your daily encounters, come across somebody and you're trying to just have a normal social interaction with this person? Maybe you're paying for your coffee at Wawa or something, or trying to do whatever. And you just get into this interaction with this person, and you're there for a couple minutes, and after a minute you just start thinking, what planet is this guy from? I just don't, what? That happens, right? It happens to some of us more than others. Yes, it happens. You're out there in the real world, and you know this person has spent their entire life in the same country as you, but you're just like, where is this person coming from? You just don't get it, no matter how hard you try. But when you stop to think for a moment and marvel at the miracle of our human lives, it almost makes sense. Each one of us experiencing so many unique and particular experiences. Think about it for a minute. Just this morning, things happened to you this morning. Maybe you stopped at Wawa for coffee and met that weird guy. Many things happened to you this morning that only happened to you. Unique, completely different from everybody else this morning. And every morning is that way, and every afternoon and every night. This miracle of a life that we live, so full of all these different experiences, the human condition of relationship and reflection, makes makes it so that every life in this room is so unique and so different from all of the others, because the experiences you've been through make you you, and they are only yours. We are all so unique and so different that it really is a miracle when somehow that wall can break down and we can truly understand one another. And that's what the church is founded on. That no matter how different we are, Paul starts talking about it as Jew and Greek, slave or free, man or woman, rich or poor, Democrat or Republican, conservative or liberal, black, white, gay, straight, old, young, upper class, middle class, no matter how different we all are from one another. We come here with the expectation that the Spirit will work in an unexplainable, almost incomprehensible way, so that we will be able to actually understand one another, and we will actually be understood. We will find commonality and belonging, community, and we will be empowered as we speak together of God's deeds of power. That's what the understanding was grounded in. Everyone heard and understood the disciples speaking of God's deeds of power. The birth of the church is a call to witness. When you speak of God's deeds of power, the walls break down, and everyone understands, and everyone is changed. I found this quote in one of my commentaries about Pentecost. Pentecost is a celebration of newness, of recreation, a celebration of renewal of purpose, mission, and God's ongoing work in the world. Yet it is a recognition that God's work is done through His people as He pours out His presence on them. The birth of the church, our Pentecost, is a call to witness. When you speak of God's deeds of power, the walls break down, and everyone understands, and everyone is changed. Amen.